Music in the afterlife. What sort of music are we likely to hear after we die? Let's get started with Rosemary Brown, a widowed London housewife who, beginning in 1964, received compositions from the spirits of many great composers, including Beethoven, Bach, Debussy, and others. These compositions, which she played at the piano, or rather which they played through her, weren't known masterpieces, but music they apparently composed where they were. This suggests that music loved by many earthlings continues to be loved over there. But we get news of a different kind of music from others. Copilot, which is Microsoft's AI, reports, many people who report near-death experiences describe hearing music, often overwhelmingly beautiful, harmonic, and unlike anything on earth. While this isn't definitive proof, it is one of the most consistently reported features of afterlife accounts. I agree. Copilot continues. A large body of NDE testimony describes music as part of the transition into non-physical realms. Many NDEers report hearing music, often described as beautiful, floating, unearthly, or beyond anything imaginable. Anyone who has studied the NDE in depth can vouch for this, as well as the following. People who've had NDEs say the music feels alive, as if made of light or consciousness, is harmonic in ways impossible for physical instruments, carries emotion directly, not just sound, sometimes comes from vast choirs or voices without number. Copilot continues, unlike ours, music in the afterworld is not produced by instruments, not dependent on air or vibration, more like light, color, or emotion made audible, perceived with the whole being, not just ears. Again, Copilot. Some researchers and many experiencers suggest that the afterlife may allow you to experience, or rather re-experience, earthly memories in full sensory detail, which could include the music you loved. This is an inference, but it's consistent with reports of life reviews and memory-based environments. End Copilot. So, will you hear the music you loved? The Grateful Dead, Enya, Michael Jackson, Schubert. Leslie Stringfellow, a young Texan who died of tuberculosis when he was 20, wrote to his parents about his travels in astral India and China. In Calcutta, he came across, quote, a scene of life and gaiety. Everybody seemed to be enjoying music, painting, sculpture, and art. He traveled on and chanced upon a Chinese sector of the afterworld. He wrote, these are the grandest gardens I've seen. They have thousands of tall, pointed summer houses, and crowds of visitors go in and out and chat. But he did not like their music. He calls it hideous groaning and growling and creaking. You might agree if you ever hear it. It amused him that after it ended, the whole crowd were in a broad grin of delight and were applauding for all they were worth. He concluded that every nation, when its people first come over, keeps the same characteristics that mark them on earth. Music is often featured in ceremony, such as when spirits graduate to a higher plane. One ceremony I came across early in my studies was the so-called Ceremony of Light, which Francis Banks describes in Testimony of Light, a mediumistic classic. The purpose of the ceremony is to elevate the spirit into an indescribable mystical oneness with the vast universe of spirit. As she puts it, it's accomplished by music on a grander scale than ever Earth has known. All present are united in a prodigious effort to reach a particular note. The word note is capitalized and is obviously of great importance. Once reached, the note is held and vibrated at a pitch of intensity which sweeps every soul into harmony. The light breaks through into the assembly. Light surrounds us, lifts us, touches, awakens us. She tells us the assembly is singing not only with the voices, their voices, but with their whole organisms. Her descriptive powers cannot begin to suggest the degree of exaltation she feels. All she can say is that holding in consciousness the note is to become united with and transformed by an awesome, knowing, loving light. She ends her description with short, stuttering sentences, each barely comprehensible. Yet they manage to convey the difference between our world and hers, the essential indescribability of her world in the languages of Earth. As Copilot puts it, some people, quote, describe music as the most beautiful part of their encounter during their near-death experience, more profound than landscapes or beings. And that's really saying something. The impression I get, and several spirits claim, is that music is the highest art form in the afterlife, as it is, I believe, on Earth. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Were you surprised by the high quality of information that AI produced for us? I certainly was. I'm Stafford Betty, the Afterlife Professor. See you at the concert.